David McDonnell of the Daily Mirror is reporting that Mourinho will be sacked this weekend, regardless of Manchester United's result of the game at home to Newcastle. First of all, Gary, would this be the right decision by Manchester United?
No. I think, to be honest with you, Kelly, I'm furious. I'm furious going back 3-4 years ago when David Moyes was sacked, when it broke a day before, to journalists. I think of Louis van Gaal being sacked in the evening of a cup final and finding out from other people. I think about how the club's been operated. If this is true, we don't know if it's true, but if this is true, and Jose Mourinho is going to walk out at Old Trafford tomorrow as almost like a dead man walking, those fans will absolutely turn towards that boardroom. It's unacceptable. And I have to say that Jose Mourinho will get the biggest support he's ever had in his life tomorrow, I think, in that ground. And I'll be there to give it to him. Because if this is true and it's broken the day before it's going to happen and he's going to be sacked after the game or at the weekend, it's an absolute disgrace. Where's the values and the principles of Manchester United if this is true? That the journalists find out and it isn't announced at the right time. Look, at the end of the day, this is now going on for 5 or 6 years. And I have to say that any manager, Jose Mourinho is one of the best managers in the world. And I think at this moment in time, any manager would struggle in that football club, the way in which the recruitment's handled, the way in which it operates. And enough's enough for me. I love that football club. I absolutely love it to death. It's been my life. It's given me everything. And I'm not turning on my football club, but I have to say something has to change, and it isn't the manager. It's above that. And I'm furious as I sit here thinking that there's a report that's broken out. Journalists don't break stories of this nature unless they're absolutely certain. And I hope it's not true, but if it is true, I think it's an absolute disgrace.
What can change elsewhere in the club?
It comes to a point whereby when you've had an opportunity to appoint 3 or 4 managers, this will be the 4th manager in 6 years. So when you've had, you have to start looking at not the manager, you have to start looking at the people who are appointing the managers, the people who are bringing in the players, the people who are sanctioning the deals, the people who are overspending on players, the people who are allowing the tail to wag the dog. The dressing room is leading what's happening. The tail is wagging the dog at the football club. Get some control back. Get some leadership. And for me, at this moment in time, I'm furious. It's been coming for me for 3 or 4 weeks, undermining Jose on the eve of the season, explaining to journalists why he couldn't sign those centre-backs. Who is qualified in that football club to be able to tell Jose Mourinho that Alderweireld or Maguire or Boateng are not better than the centre-backs that they've got? Who is qualified in that football club? There's only 2 people I can think of, and they wouldn't have been consulted. In fact, we know they weren't consulted. Sir Bobby Charlton and Sir Alex Ferguson. So for me, like I say, I'm reacting maybe a little bit emotionally, but I don't particularly care anymore, to be honest with you, in respect of what I say. You can say it's unprofessional, but I have to speak as a fan and what I feel. And at the end of the day, I'm on Sky Sports. I'm here as somebody who, to be fair, offers a level of neutrality. It's difficult running a football club. It's difficult managing a football team. It's difficult playing in a football team. It's not always easy. There are lots of challenges. But what you have to do is make sure that you operate in the right manner. And I have to say, at this moment in time, there is something rotten to the core of the decisions that have been made over the last 4 or 5 years, and it has to be coming from the top. If I'm the person who employs the guy underneath me and he fails, eventually I've got to take the responsibility for it. Eventually I've got to stand up and say, look, I'm not good enough to do this. And the people in the boardroom at this moment in time who are, if you like, overseeing the football operation are nowhere near good enough. They're not qualified. They're playing football manager with the biggest club in the world. Stop it. Put people in who are qualified. And so, look, this is a big story that's breaking. It's 5 minutes, and tomorrow I might look stupid, but still, to be fair, these thoughts still ring true. These thoughts still ring true. I hope Jose's there next week. I actually like Jose Mourinho. I think when I saw that interview before the game tonight, I was sad. I'm sad that if he goes, and I have to say that looking at his face, he looked tired. He looked beaten. He looked fed up. He looked like he'd had enough. And the players look like they've had enough. The players look beaten. And I know some of those players, and some of them are really good lads. They're not bad lads. They're not sat there thinking, I don't want to play well for Manchester United. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's hope Liverpool and City both lose at the weekend.
when they're playing against each other. It's about the only thing that can cheer Manchester United fans up at the moment, as you say. But that way that Mourinho comports himself, has that been caused by the club, do you think?
Well, they knew what they were getting when they signed Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is cantankerous. He's somebody who doesn't back down from confrontation. He will want teams who are ready to win now, and they undermined him in the summer. You can't undermine your manager. Simple as that.